Welcome, good morning, and happy almost solstice. And welcome to the Community Church of Chapel Hill, Unitarian Universalist. As in days of old, we gather together when times are dark. It is good to be together. I am the Reverend Alison Wilbur Eskildsen, a member of this congregation. The Reverend Tom Below is our settled minister. I want to welcome any visitors and newcomers and call your attention to the brief note on the back of your order of service welcoming you. Also, I have a couple of announcements. In your order of service is listed a choral presentation, Winter Sun, that will not be sung this morning, so don't worry if you think we're skipping something. And also, all of the lyrics or words that you need for the service are on the blue sheet, including the words to many of the choral pieces that will be sung this morning, in case you'd like to look at those. I also want to welcome anybody who's here online to our service. All of the words will be displayed on the screen for you. And for the complete order of service, just look to our website or to the links in this morning's email. Whoever you are, whomever you love, whatever brought you to this place, you are welcome here. You are welcome, whatever your health status. And with that in mind, we thank everyone for masking during our service in the sanctuary. The masked optional areas are our Commons Social Hall in the Jones building across the courtyard. Anywhere outside is optional, but also masks are required in all religious education spaces. In-person social time will be held following this service in both the cast courtyard or in the community social hall. At 1 p.m., Rachel Rose will be leading an online social time, and the links are in the emails or website. Lastly, please silence your cell phones before our service gets further underway. Now I invite you to rise in body or in spirit to sing our opening song. The words are in your sheet, round and round.
We'll be doing these twice in unison, and then we'll go on a 3-part round to follow the community singers when you're ready.
Today we gather to celebrate the cosmic journey Earth takes around the life-giving sun. We pause to mark this particular moment in that yearly cycle, the winter solstice, when the sun shines on Earth's northern hemisphere for the least amount of time each day. The word solstice comes from two Latin words, sol for sun and sistera for stand or stop. Together they mean the sun stands still. Ancient people recognized that for a few days each side of December 21st or 22nd, the sun seems to rise and set in the same place each day. Not knowing the scientific cause of this phenomenon, they called back the sun, hoping to encourage the return of longer days and bring new life to people, plants, and animals at winter's end. Short of a cosmic catastrophe, we know the sun will not stand still forever. We know longer days will return. But in marking this seasonal moment, we acknowledge our earthly dependence upon the sun and remind ourselves that we are not separate from the universe or the natural world. We are interdependent with all that exists. We are planetary beings bound to the sun. Our daily rhythms of rising and setting, rise with the sun and rest with the sun setting, are driven by our particular location. The seasons we experience are determined by where we live and the angle by which the sun's light reaches us during the year. We are solar beings as well. To acknowledge our connection to planet Earth and the sunlight we receive from the north, south, east, and west, I invite you to join me in a calling of the directions. Whether you are here in the sanctuary or online, I invite you to rise in body or in spirit and to face the east. Spirit of the east, with joy we lift up our faces to greet the sun's morning light and deeply breathe in dawn's fresh air. love, we lift up our faces to see the sacred inner light within each of us. With gratitude, we affirm the blessings of sun and earth. You may be seated. Has a slight musical twist to it. You'll notice in your order of service that it comes in two parts. We'll recite the first sentence of that first part. The choir will have a choral response, then we'll recite the second part for another choral response. So now I invite you to join me in reciting the first part. In the light and beauty of day, we give thanks in awe and wonder. Now I invite you to join me in the second part. In the dark and stillness of night, we dream of healing and hope. Today is the fourth and final Sunday of Advent. And for some, the fourth Sunday may have seemed like it was taking forever to get to this point of arrival. For others, maybe it came a little too fast. Regardless, it is coming next week, Christmas and Solstice in the middle of the week. Barb, will you please light our Advent wreath? And because this is the fourth and last Sunday of Advent, we light all 4 candles for hope, peace, love, and joy. May hope, peace, love, and joy be yours this holiday season.
Winter, a poem by the Unitarian Universalist Reverend Greta Crosby. Let us not wish away the winter. It is a season, it itself, not simply the way to spring. When trees rest, growing no leaves, gathering no light, they let in the sky and trace themselves delicately against dawns and sunsets. The clarity and brilliance of the winter sky delight. The loom of fog softens edges, lulls the eyes and ears of the quiet, awakens by risk the unquiet. A low, dark sky can snow, emblem of individuality, liberality, and aggregate power. Snow invites to contemplation and to sport. Winter is a table set with ice and starlight. Winter dark tends to warm light, fire and candles. Winter cold to hugs and huddles. Winter want to gifts and sharing. Winter danger to visions, plans, and common endeavoring, and the zest of narrow escapes. Winter tedium to merrymaking. Let us therefore praise winter, rich in beauty, challenge, and pregnant negativities.
For celebration. This year, I do not want the dark to leave me. I need its wrap of silent stillness, its cloak of long-lasting embrace. Too much light has pulled me away from the chamber of gestation. Let the dawns come late. Let the sunsets arrive early. Let the evenings extend themselves while I lean into the abyss of my being. Let me lie in the cave of my soul. Too much light blinds me, steals the source of revelation. Let me seek solace in the empty places of winter's passage, those vast, dark nights that never fail to shelter me.
You can light up our sanctuary this morning by freely offering a portion of your leaf-like evergreen bills, sunlike golden orbs, or moon-like silver discs. Sharing your cosmic treasure supports the ministries of this church, both in and outside these walls. Directions for online giving are in the order of service and online. The offering will now be received gratefully.
The Nourishing Dark by the Reverend Richard S. Gilbert. We pause in the holy quiet of the nourishing dark. The days are short now, darkness overtakes light. We miss the sparkling daylight hours, the long days of brightness and activity. We yearn for their swift return and wonder if we can wait or if our patience will at last give out. We forget the nourishing dark at our peril. There is mystery in the dark to be probed. There is the adventure of that which cannot be known, cannot be seen, can only be experienced in the soul. There is deepness in the dark, impenetrable and inviting. In the darkness, we rest our bodies and our souls. We escape that which distracts and confuses. We come face to face with ourselves. We come into the deep places of our being. Darkness is not mere absence of light. Darkness is not simply an interval between days. Darkness is the softness of things, the blessed quiet of the night. May we not bemoan the dark, but relish it. May we feel its powerful presence and rejoice in its mystical embrace. May we celebrate the deep and nourishing dark.
Since earliest times, ancient people sought comfort from one another during the long winter nights. They sang, they danced, they prayed. They did what they could to bring back the sun and longer, warmer days. Like us, they lit candles, gathered around fires, and looked to the evergreens for signs and symbols of hope. For around their villages, death lurked. Plants died, people hungered, and cold seeped into their bones. Evergreens proved life stronger than winter's death grip, and so they decorated their dwellings with boughs of pine and holly, just as we have decorated our sanctuary. On dark wintry days, nature's bright reds and greens offered cheer, while the scent of pine and forest refreshed both air and spirits. If you are sitting at the end of an aisle, there is a basket underneath your seat. I invite you to retrieve that basket, to take a small sprig of pine and pass the basket down the aisle. And for this moment of ritual, you are allowed to remove your masks so that you can take in the scent of that pine. The smell of some things can immediately recall a memory or emotion from an earlier time in our lives. Cinnamon may recall a favorite baked good made by a loved one. Hot cocoa may recall a cozy family night together. Floral perfume may remind you of a love from the past. Pipe smoke may remind you of a grandparent now gone. And pine scent may recall Christmases past or present. Some of our recalled memories may not be happy. They may remind us of family stress and disappointment. Our culture's demands for expensive gifts and advertisements that show happy, loving families put great pressure on us for what we should be experiencing. Many may wish the holidays over before they've begun. But we have the power to make new memories. We have the power to create new families, new emotions, new connections, or new joy with the sense of the season. And so I invite you to enjoy the scent of pine, one of nature's well-loved evergreens. If you need to, give that scent new meaning. Perhaps the friends that you have in this community, the love of this community, the joy that can be had in this season. If it recalls happy memories for you, enjoy recalling those and be thankful for those experiences. Let's take a moment to recall our memories or create new ones as we listen to the music. May the memories you recall or make anew bring light to your solstice celebration and winter holidays. You may take your bit of pine home with you if you like, or you can return it to the baskets as you leave.
The Moment of Magic by Victoria Stafford. Now is the moment of magic, when the whole round earth turns again toward the sun. And here's a blessing. The days will be longer and brighter now, even before the winter settles in to chill us. Now is the moment of magic, when people beaten down and broken with nothing left but misery and candles and their own clear voices kindle tiny lights and whisper secret music. And here's a blessing. The dark universe is suddenly illuminated by the lights of the menorah, suddenly ablaze with the lights of the Kanara, and the whole world is glad and loud with winter singing. Now is the magic, the moment of magic, when an eastern star beckons the ignorant toward an unknown goal. And here's a blessing. They find nothing in the end but an ordinary baby, born at midnight, born in poverty, and the baby's cry, like bells ringing, makes people wonder as they wander through their lives what human love might really look like, sound like, feel like. Now is the moment of magic. And here's a blessing. We already possess all the gifts we need. We've already received our presents. Ears to hear music, eyes to behold lights, hands to build true peace on earth, and to hold each other tight in love.
Let us usher in that moment of magic by rising in body or in spirit to sing our song, Here Comes the Sun. Let us call the sun to return.
Is here along, oh,
Indeed, the sun will return, bringing us longer days, even though winter's frosty cold is still ahead of us. Before we close our solstice celebration, let us release the spirits of the east, south, west, and north, which we called to acknowledge our intimate connection to the sun and earth. With gratitude, we release your spirits, though not from our lives. Now, I invite you to join me in a litany by John Halstead. When I indicate, gesture to you, you may respond, "The light is reborn." When the earth is barren, the light is reborn. When the animals sleep, the light is reborn. When the leaves have fallen, the light is reborn. When the rivers are frozen, the light is reborn. When the ground is hard, the light is reborn. When the shadows grow long, the light is reborn. May the light be reborn in you this solstice and winter holiday season. Thank you. And to Bauer, thank you. I invite you now to rise in body or in spirit and to join us in reciting our traditional closing words for extinguishing our chalice and our Advent wreath. The words are in your order of service if you need them. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. And now we will sing Shalom. If you wish to hold hands with your neighbor, put your arms out. If you wish to not hold hands, put your arms across your chest.